your second session. On this session, we're going to talk about semi-structured document extraction technique. So what we're going to do right now is to come in here and to remove this fingerprint away from the library. And for the identifying of pages, we're going to change this a little bit as well. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take away the fingerprint recognition technique. We're going to run recognition with page recognition, 100% of it, and we're going to recognize or identify the page through keyword. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to quickly add a keyword or a beneficiary, and if I were to see this keyword beneficiary, I'm going to map it to this page called band page. So that's all for what you need to do to identify the page. Save it, close it. We're not going to use this recognize page anymore, so we're going to remove this from the profiler. What we're going to do here is we're going to populate fields using keyword. So just right click on it and store it in the application, and you'll see it here. So we're just going to move this up here to this part. So it's always good to keep your rule set tidy, so that when you do your debugging or when the application starts to grow, it's easier for you to maintain. So we're going to add this to the profiler, and the rules is going to run in a linear fashion. So we're going to populate the fields using keyword first. So it's going to save this and close. So let's start to populate the field. So this is employee. So we want this field to be located by keyword. So adding a term, you know that the keyword here is employee name. Scroll it a little bit down. We're going to add a condition. The moment we find employee name, we're going to add a condition and says go down a line 1. Okay, so the moment we go down one line, we're going to group the trailing words. We're going to save this. Same thing goes to this. We want to have this. So it's not going to talk too much, so I'm just going to So basically what you're doing here is just to create rules for each field. Right, with pre-compiled rule set, it's a lot easier. You don't really need to build rules on your own. The rules have been built for you when you select some of these options. Right, so I will show you the rules in a very short while. Alright, so these are where the rules are. So you can see that if I were to look for the field employer, this is what the actions that has been put into this function. So I'm just going to click on this, and you will see that zip code will be added here, the rule zip for zip code. So the moment I save it, you'll see that there's a zip code here. So see, this is how we build rules using pre-compiled rule set. So this is very useful for beginners. So you have not seen me doing anything more advanced than using pre-compiled rule set. So that's the strength of the idea. Right. So let's go back here and let's take this away. You can see that right now the recognition seems to be a bit longer. OCR the typical tag time that we take for each page is probably about 10 seconds. So in this case it's pretty fast in some sense. So we can see that both pages that had been ingested into the system were recognized, and the information had been populated as well dynamically, so I don't have to really bother where the field is as long as I can find the keyword, right? So just now you saw me building rules for locating where the keyword is. So employee name, so I found this keyword employee name, and I go one line down and I start to group any data that I can find below this keyword, right? So zip code here wasn't being picked up, so you realize that I would have thought that I have done it correctly, but if you look at this zip code, there's actually a spacing right in between. So coming back here, you do need to check your zip code again. Okay, so this is not correct. So oh, what did I do? Alright, so okay, so we can save this right now. Save those. Okay, so let's rerun this and see what happened if we are able to pick up the zip code. Aha, we have gotten it. Alright, so personally I prefer using semi-structured extraction technique. I use it almost 100% of the time in most of the application which I built, and I encourage you to use this. Fingerprinting or structured document extraction is good if you only have one or two documents for extraction, but most of the time you get to use a little bit more advanced techniques, such as what I've just shown you by using semi-structured, by using keyword to extract information. Right, so thank you for listening and watching.